Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in this video, we're gonna discuss about the components of SD-WAN. Okay, so we'll discuss about the different components as in like vManage, the second one vSmart, third one vBond, fourth one vEdges, or we can say cEdges. So V means Viptela, and here C means Cisco. So in our last video, we have seen this diagram of where the data center is connected to branch sites through a transport link, which is internet. So this internet is a transport. Okay. So instead of internet, we can use also MPLS or LTE, as in like 4G or 5G. Okay. So in this diagram, I mean, it's on our last video, we have discussed about how these branch sites will form a control plane, will form a control tunnel with a smart device. So the smart device we were talking about, so the smart device we were talking about here, which will be vSmart. So these branch sites will form a so these branch sites will form a control tunnel with the smart device. It goes with the data center. Okay. In this video, what we are using a single transport, which is internet now. So here we have three IPs. Here we have three IPs which are facing the internet, and these IPs are this 1.1.1.1, 2.2.2.2, and 3.3.3.3. So as we discussed in our last session about the smart device, which is this vSmart, and the control session which is formed with the smart device from these from these branch sites or the data center, these are formed through vEdge devices. So the vEdge devices is placed. Okay, so here the vEdge device is placed. Okay, so you can say here we have the vEdge device, and here also we have the vEdge device. So these vEdge devices placed on the branch sites will make connection with the smart device, and that connection is a tunnel which is formed over TCP. So this tunnel connection is a TCP connection, which is a layer 4, which is a layer 4 protocol, the OSI model. So before forming these tunnels, there should be a reachability between the smart devices and the vEdge devices. Okay, so to make sure the connectivity, this connection is secure, we'll use the TLS. Okay, so TLS, which is transport layer security. Okay, and this TLS was previously called as SSL, which is secure shell. which is secure shell. Okay, so we call these tunnels or the control connection as, so these tunnels will be called as TLS. These tunnels will be called as TLS or DTLS. So it's a transport layer security or data transport layer security. Okay, so the tunnel which is, so TLS, let me clear this one. So this TLS control connection or the TLS tunnel which is formed between the vEdge devices and the vSmart device. This TLS is, this TLS comes into picture because TCP is not secure. Okay, so this TLS will be used to share the certificate between control devices and form the encryption. So this TLS will be used to share the certificates also. So this TLS will be used to share the certificates. Will be used to share the certificates through this control connection or through this control devices, okay, and which can be used for encryption. Okay, so we'll discuss about the certificates and encryption in our later videos, in our upcoming videos. Okay, so as mentioned, when we secure the TCP, it will become TLS. Okay, same goes with the UDP. Okay, when we secure it, it will form DTLS. Okay, so these tunnels are TLS slash DTLS. Okay, so all the routers which are placed on the branches, all the routers which are placed over the branches, here on this branch, here on this data center branch, here on this data center branch, all these routers are vEdges. Okay, so all these routers, we can say these routers as edge routers. So vEdge means if we use a vPtailor router, then it is called the vEdge router. And in case if we use a Cisco router, in case if we use a Cisco router on the branch edges, so then we call these routers as the CH routers. So we should keep in mind the edge routers are either vPtailor routers or either Cisco routers. Okay. When we connect these edge routers on the branches or either on the data center, so these routers, the first thing they will do is to find the IP address of this smart device. Okay, so it will try to find the IP address of this smart device. Okay, and once it get the IP address of the smart device, then it will try to form this control tunnel, or you can say the control connection. So the question comes, how will a vEdge router get an IP address of a vSmart device? Okay, so we will see now as a router is completely, so as these routers, the edge routers, are completely blank when first powered on. Here the concept comes with a vBond. So guys, the third component which comes into picture is vBond. Okay, so this vBond tells the IP address of the vSmart to the vEdge or the CH routers. Okay, so it will tell the IP address of this vSmart so that these vEdge routers or the CH routers will communicate with vSmart and then form these TLS or DTLS tunnels. Okay, so the process is when vEdge router boots for the first time, the router will try to get an IP address automatically. Okay, so once the router get its own IP address, then it will query to a server which is called vbond.viptela.com. Okay, to find the IP address of the vSmart. So this vbond.viptela.com is a server on which you will find the IP address of vSmart device. Okay, and once this IP address of the vSmart device is received by the vEdge device, it will try to communicate with the vSmart and try to form a control tunnels with it. Okay, so this vbond.viptela.com, okay, on this one, so Cisco basically will make a repository that this vBond this vBond belongs to ABC organization. Okay, so there is a repository at the Cisco end. Okay, where they have mentioned this vBond. There are multiple vBonds on it. Okay, this belongs to ABC organization. This belongs to XYZ organization. This belongs to um, DEF organization. Okay, so it has repository to multiple vBonds, and all those vBonds are um, and so all these vBonds are tied to some particular organization. So this Viptela vbond.viptela.com knows about this repository where there is a vBond of multiple organization and its IP address. Okay, and this vbond.viptela.com, which is a server, has the detail of all SD-WAN devices purchased from Cisco. Okay, so this one has all detail of all Cisco devices, all detail of all Cisco devices for SD-WAN. Okay. So when when the vEdge router gets its IP address, when this vEdge router gets an IP address, it will send a query to this vbond.viptela.com to get the IP address of the vbond. So it will say this vEdge belongs to ABC organization. It will query to the vbond.viptela.com that I'm from ABC organization. I want a vBond of ABC organization, which is in your repository. Okay, it will query this one to vbond.viptela.com. It will see its repository, and on this, it will see it's the vbond.viptela.com. Its IP address it will see as 4.4.4.4. Okay, so it will it will get the IP address of the vBond, which is 4.4.4.4. Okay, and after getting the IP address of the vbond.viptela.com, okay, so this vEdge router will mention its organization details in queries sent to the vbond.viptela.com. It will always do that. Okay, and then it will get the correct vBond IP address, which is linked to its organization. And in our example, the organization is ABC organization. Okay, so vEdge router will connect with vBond after getting its IP address. That and that connection is basically a so this connection, let me clear this one so that you can understand that. So this vEdge router, this vEdge router will connect with vBond after getting its IP address and form a tunnel with it. Okay, and that tunnel is also TLS or DTLS tunnel. Okay, so vEdge router will ask the vBond if there is a vSmart in our organization. So this vBond has the information of every device. Okay, so it will ask the details of um, vSmart, and then we'll ask the details of vManage. Okay, so this vBond will provide the details of first vSmart, okay, and then provide the details of vManage to vEdge routers. So this is our vBond, and this vBond is connected to vEdge through this TLS or DTLS tunnel. And this vBond will provide the IP address of vSmart and vManage to edge routers. Okay. So after vEdge asks the vBond for any vSmart in the organization, this vBond is always connected to vSmart. Okay, so it is always connected to this vSmart. Okay, so that it can provide the details of the vSmart to the edge router. So after vBond will provide the IP address of vSmart devices to vEdge router, okay. So you need to understand this whole process. Okay, so it is better either you can re-watch this video. Okay, so that it is easier for you to understand this. So the whole process here is, as soon as the vEdge router boots up, it will try to connect with vbond.webtela.com, okay, to get the IP address of vbond, okay, and then ask the vbond the IP address of vSmart, okay, and then form a control tunnels, which is TLS or DTLS tunnels with vSmart. Okay, so this thing you need to remember. Okay, so and after this process is complete, the connection which is formed between vEdge routers and vBond, we need to understand that connection, that this tunnel, the tunnel which is in blue. So this tunnel which is formed, this is not a permanent tunnel. Okay, so this is basically a temporary tunnel. And why this tunnel is used? Basically, this tunnel is required to get the information of vSmart, so that the vEdge router can form a control tunnel with vSmart. Okay, so to get an IP address of the vSmart, the edge routers will communicate with vBond. Okay, and as soon as the edge router get the IP address of the vSmart, this tunnel will tear down. Okay, it will be removed. So basically, this will be a temporary tunnel. So this vBond will help in bringing up the devices in SD-WAN solution, and that is why we called this vBond as orchestrator. Okay, so this vBond will help to bring up all the connections in the SD-WAN. Okay, all the tunnels, this control tunnels with the vSmart. Okay, and provide the details of the vManage also to the edge devices. That's why it will help in bringing up the devices in SD-WAN solution. And that's why we call this device as the orchestrator. Okay. So now the deployment of the devices will be very easy. We just need to plug in the router to the SD-WAN network. It will follow this whole process of reaching out to vBond within the organization, getting the IP of the vSmart, try to form a connection with the vSmart. Okay, we just need to plug in the router in the SD-WAN network. Okay, and once it will form the control connection with the vSmart, then these edge routers, then these edge routers will form data tunnels. Okay, data connection with each other. So this edge router will form a data connection with this one. This edge router will form a data connection with this one. This one will form with this one. Okay, here we have another vH router. Okay, so after this control connection, which is TLS or DTLS, it will form the edge routers will form the data connection with other vH routers to transfer the traffic. Okay, and the other thing we need to understand is this vBond. This vBond has a public IP address and will have connection over this internet transport. Will have connection over this internet transport. This one, internet transport. So now here we have vSmart. Okay, and with this vSmart, we have these are vH devices. Okay, and these vH devices will form control tunnels with it with vSmart. Okay, and these are TLS or DTLS tunnels. Okay, and these tunnels are permanent tunnels. And the one which is formed with vBonds are temporary tunnels. So these permanent DTLS tunnels which are formed with the edge routers and the vSmart and will exchange the routes through these tunnels. Okay. So on these tunnels we require at least one routing protocol. So in SD-WAN solution there is a protocol which is used and that protocol is called OMP, which is overlay management protocol. Okay, and this protocol OMP will run on these tunnels. Okay, so on these tunnels this OMP protocol will run. Okay, so any data which is sent on this control tunnel will be encrypted and authenticated. So OMP will take the routes from these vH routers and exchange them over these control tunnels. Okay, so now we are having only pairing between the edge routers, okay, and the controller device which is a smart device which is vSmart to exchange the routes. So this pairing is more like a route reflector which we basically use in BGP. So there is no full mesh connectivity over it. Okay, so there is no pairing between the edge routers. Okay, it will only pair with the vSmart Okay, it will share the details, share the routes with the vSmart, then vSmart will share the routes from one vEdge router to the other vEdge router. Okay, and then after, so now every vEdge router in SD-WAN fabric is making OMP neighborship with the vSmart controller because OMP is running on the controller tunnels. So in this topology, we have three OMP neighborship. Okay, so the OMP neighborship will be as in, so O means OMP, not OSPF. So this A dot A dot A dot A slash 24 will be reach via 1.1.1.1. So the other one OMP route, which is B dot B dot B dot B slash 24, will reach via 2.2.2.2. Okay, and the other one is C dot C dot C dot C slash 24 will reach via 3.3.3.3. So all these are OMP routes. Okay, so let's suppose if DC wants to send traffic to a branch site. So this data center want to send traffic to any branch site. Let's suppose to this one site. It has to send the packet encrypted over this internet transport link and not in plain text. So internet internet will see the normal IP packet, but it will not be able to see the content within this packet because the content will be encrypted. Okay, so this DC, if DC wants to reach to this A1 to this to network, let's suppose there is a laptop over here and this laptop over here which has C.C IP and this one has A.A IP. So this C.C IP wants to reach to this A.IP, so it can reach to this IP A.A via 1.1.1.1. Okay, same it can reach to B.B.B.B via 2.2.2.2. Same here also, this branch router can reach to data center, which is C.C.C.C via 3.3.3.3, and it can reach the branch site B.B.B.B via 2.2.2.2, and same goes here also. So this branch router can reach A.A.A via 1.1.1.1, and it can reach to the data center route, which is C.C.C.C with via 3.3.3.3. Okay, so in the packet, so if it wants to, the source packet is from, let's suppose if the data center wants to reach to branch router, source packet will be C.C.C.C, which is trying to reach the destination network A.A.A.A. This packet will be encapsulated with GRE and further with IPsec, okay, to encrypt the packet, and it further will be encrypted with the IPs, which will be 3.3.3.3, and the destination will be 1.1.1.1. So this whole complete packet will be encrypted using IPsec. And this I have already discussed in my last videos also. Okay, and in case if you want to want to have a clear understanding of it, you can go through those videos. Okay. So after forming this control tunnels with the vSmart, the edge routers will automatically form an IPsec tunnels with each other. So this tunnel will be formed with the data center router with the branch routers. Okay. So this data tunnel which is formed, so this IPsec tunnel, or you can say a data tunnel, this will be IPsec, or you can say data tunnel. Okay, which will be formed between these branch routers and the data center. So the packet will be sent over this IPsec tunnel, and this will be the packet, okay, which I have showed you, and that packet will be in encrypted format. Okay, so after creating the control connection, which is TLS or DTLS connection, the edge router will start making this IPsec tunnels between each other to form the data connection and to send the traffic between each other. This IPsec connection, which this IPsec tunnels or connection, which will be formed automatically after the vEdge routers have all the routes. Okay, so the vEdge routers will get all the routes through this control tunnels. Okay, and after this control connection, the edge routers getting the routes, it will start forming this data tunnels, which will be the IPsec tunnels between each other and start sharing the data. Okay, so now we have understanding here that, so now we have a clear picture or clear understanding that we have separated both the control plane and the data plane. Okay, so the control plane is through this vSmart, okay, and the data plane is through these data tunnels which will be formed. Okay, so these control tunnels, these data tunnels will form the routing table on the edge routers. So if there are, let's suppose if there are 20 devices, 20 edge routers, there will be 20 into 19 divided by 2 IPsec tunnels. Okay, so now we have discussed the three important devices. Okay, the three important devices we have discussed, which will be vSmart, the second will be vBond, and the third one will be vEdge. Okay, so these vEdge routers, the models we use in SUN solution are vEdge routers, which are series of 100 series, 1000 series routers, 2000 series routers, 5000 series routers, 8000 series routers. We use ASR, ISR routers, which are 4K routers. Okay, so we use ISR 1K routers, ASR 4K routers, okay, ASR 1K routers. Okay, so these are different models which we use, and we will be using iOS XC SD-WAN image on these routers. Okay, so after this one, the other main component, which will be the vManage. So vManage will be the another component. Okay, so we this vManage will come into picture as we need a device through which I can use to manage these devices, or I can configure the devices, do the configuration, create policies, push policies, push configuration. So this everything which I've mentioned will be done through this vManage. Okay, so this vManage will come first. This will come first. Okay, then on this vManage we will add the edge routers. We will add this vSmart device. Okay, and then it will form the communication. So this vManage, the tunnel which will be formed with this vManage, that will also be a TLS or DTLS tunnels. That will be TLS or DTLS. Okay, so this infrastructure of vManage, vSmart, and vBond. So this complete infrastructure we can either set up in on-premise, or we can set up in cloud also. Okay, so Cisco model says all these control device should be on cloud. So this edge router, okay, the edge router after connecting with vBond, these edge routers after connecting with vBond device, vBond device will get an IP address of vSmart. Okay, and after that it will also, the vBound will also provide an IP address of vManage to the edge router, and then it will start making a connection with vSmart and vManage. So the purpose of this particular tunnel which will be formed between the edge routers and the vManage, which I mentioned is TLS or DTLS tunnels, is to push the configuration directly from the vManage to the edge devices. Okay, so this vManage control device will use the netconf to push the configuration from these TLS DTS tunnel to the edge routers. It will use the netconf. Okay, and after it will push the configuration to the edge routers will get configured automatically. Okay, so this is how the overall solution looks like. Let me clear this picture and show you that. So this is how the complete solution look like. Okay, so here we have this control connection with these devices. Okay, so all these control devices are Cisco managed over cloud. So this will be a vManage device. This will be a dashboard of the vManage device where we will see all the controller devices. This is just an image which I'm showing you right now. Okay, here we can see number of transport link, the edge devices, vSmart devices. We'll see the strength. We'll see if there's any issue in the network, any issue with the application, any issue with the transport link. Okay, so this is how the overall overview or the dashboard of the vManage will look like. Okay, and through which we can configure or we can monitor the devices which are connected to it. Okay, in my upcoming videos, I'll set up the lab, I'll show you the whole whole user interface of the vManage. Okay, so that you have a better understanding or better view of this one. So this will be a topology, or you can say a pictorial view of this SD-WAN solution, which is showing in Cisco documentation. So here in we can see our vManage, we can see our vBond, and we can see our vSmart. Okay, so you can say this vBond is a orchestration plane, vManage is the management plane, and these other are edge routers. Okay, and these edge routers are the data plane. So here we have three transport link, MPLS, 4G, and internet. Okay, so these dotted lines which you can see, these are our TLS or DTLS tunnels. Okay, and these are our, you can say, control tunnels. So these dotted tunnels we can see our control data tunnels, and these tunnels you can see here all are also the TLS or DTLS tunnels. Okay, which will be the control tunnels. And this orange one you can see here, these tunnels, these orange tunnels you can see, which are forming between the vEdge routers. These are our data tunnels, or you can say these are IPsec tunnels. Okay, so this will be a complete SD-WAN fabric solution view, which we will be able to see in Cisco documentation. Okay, so these vEdge routers will either be on cloud, either on data center, on campus, branch, okay, or home office. Okay, so this so the data tunnel which will be formed between the edge routers from data center to branch, and then from branch 1 to branch 2. Okay, so these data tunnels which will be formed on this SD-WAN fabric is basically, this will be the overlay. Okay, so this will be the overlay tunnels, and these channels will be formed over this underlay. The underlay part here is the internet transport link will be the underlay part, and the overlay will be these IPsec tunnels. So the other thing we need to understand is why this vBond is important. So this vBond is very important in SD-WAN solution, because once edge router will get the IP address of the vBond will provide the IP address of the other two control devices, which will be the vManage and the vSmart, to the edge routers, and the edge routers then form the TLS and DTLS tunnels with these vSmart and vEdge controllers. So this vManage is basically a single plane of glass through which we can manage our controllers. So we can manage our controllers, which will be vSmart, vBond, and our edge routers. Okay, we can manage our transport link through this one. We can manage the performance of application. Okay, we can push the configuration. We can push the policy. We can create the templates. So it is basically a single plane of glass through which we can do all the stuff in SD-WAN solution. Okay, so if our vManage is down, we will not be able to do anything in SD-WAN, not be able to manage anything, not be able to configure anything. Okay, so this vManage is very important. Okay, so we can monitor all these controllers, the edge routers, our network also through this vManage. Okay, the transport links also. Okay, so this the user interface which will be used in vManage. I can configure anything, I can monitor anything, I can manage anything in SD-WAN solution. Okay, so either I can make a hub spoke topology. So this topology I can see a full mesh topology. So if I want a hub spoke topology, I can bring down this tunnel, okay, and this will make the hub spoke topology. I can do that thing also by tweaking, you can say, tweaking the custom topology from vManage to vSmart. So the other thing we want to understand is, does any device in means does any device can join this SD-WAN solution? So can anyone, any device or any device will come up and say, I want to join SD-WAN solution and can join it? So the answer is no, not any device can join the SD-WAN solution. So on this SD-WAN solution, security is very important. So security comes first, okay, and this security comes with authentication. So any device which wants to join the SD-WAN solution first have to authenticate itself, okay, and then it can join the SD-WAN fabric. And and in my upcoming videos, I will discuss about this authentication through certificates, okay, through PKIs. Okay, we'll discuss later on in our upcoming videos, in my upcoming videos. Okay, so that you have a better understanding of uh, this part related to authentication and security. So if you have any doubt, what I suggest you to please go through my videos, please go through my previous videos also, so that you have a clear understanding of each component of SD-WAN, how things will work, how control plane data plane will work, how we can separate this in SD-WAN solution as compared to traditional network. Okay, I have discussed about the traditional network in my previous videos and the comparison with the SD-WAN solution, so that you have a complete basic picture related to this one. Okay, for today we are good, and I think we should close this session now. And in case if you have any questions or anything which you want to ask, I suggest you um, put a comment in the comment section so that I can answer your queries. Okay, and in case if you like this video, I suggest you to please subscribe to my channel, like my videos, so that I can make more videos like this. Thank you for watching this video. Have a wonderful day, guys. Peace. Enjoy.